Hello and welcome back to the podcast. This is the podcast where I talk about whatever I want. I messed up already. It's the podcast where I talk about whatever I feel like whenever I feel like talking about it, and it's just that. If you're wondering why there wasn't an episode last week, it's because I was sick. Yeah, and I didn't really want to make you guys suffer listening to me kind of like achoo or cough or like every single kind of like 5 minutes. So I decided to kind of just postpone it. It's fine. We're in the early stages of the podcast, okay? It's fine if we do this kind of thing. What's crazy is that the day after, I decided that I had to do an audition for university. And this is what we're going to talk about today in like the half an hour, maybe like 35, 40 minutes that you have to listen to me for. Auditions and interviews and all that kind of stuff and like university stuff like that. You guys know, if you'd watched the first episode, that I'm going into music and songwriting, hence why I'm an artist. Hello, hello. But in order to do that, I have to apply to university. Now, usually in the UK, there's this thing called UCAS. I don't know what it stands for, but it probably stands for something. But I learned this, or I realized this, is that I think in America, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably really wrong on this, but I think in America you can apply to as many schools as you want. You might have to pay for application, but costs aside, you can like apply to as many as you want, which is pretty cool. Whereas here in the UK, you're limited to 5 options. Yeah, 5 options, and you pay a certain amount for those 5 options, and then you have to put in your details. Like you apply through like the UCAS portal. You put in your details, and then you also have to write a personal statement. Now, the personal statement is basically kind of trying to convince the universities that you're applying to that how you are fit for the course that you're applying for. Listing off your passion, your experience, your education, kind of like persuading them like that you're a good hire. But instead of hire, you're a good enrollment, I guess. So, and the thing is that you have to write one personal statement for all 5 universities. So you can't really specify. Let's say if you're going to apply to the University of Birmingham, for example, you can't say, "Oh, I think I really suit UOB, blah 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 blah," because you'd also be sending it to Cardiff University, and Cardiff University doesn't want to see a personal statement where you're praising the UOB. So you kind of have to be kind of vague in terms of the school. But, more so kind of, you specify towards the course that you're taking. For example, if you were to take a film course, what I was going to take, then you'd kind of probably say something like, "Oh, I made a bunch of these short films. I contributed, I put those into like a film festival," or something of the sort, But, you wouldn't really talk about like anything that's not relevant. But that's kind of been my kind of like experience with that. Sometimes with courses you also have to do an audition or an interview. In my case, for an audition, I had to go prepared with 2 original songs, and then this is for 2 of the universities that I've applied to. I have to have one that's already produced, and then one backing track I sing live, which is pretty nervous. It's actually pretty nervous when like you're in like the wings, the waiting room, and trying to calm your nerves and like warm up. Thankfully, I got all of my offers, all 5 of my offers, and now I'm just in that tough stage of deciding which one I want to actually like confirm my position at, because like they're all conditional grades. Like they're all conditional, meaning that you have to, like for me at least, you have to get the certain amount of grades, which does mean that I have to actually like still carry on with my film coursework. Because if I don't get the grades good enough, I can't go to university. But it's fine. I'm on track to getting like a triple D star, which is like the highest grade anyway. So we're all pretty good. We're pretty good, in fact. But it's that's it pretty much. I got my offers. I have one here in Birmingham. I have one in Birmingham, which is like currently where I am. Hello, I'm based in Birmingham. And then I have one in Brighton, and then like a couple in London. And the thing is, Brighton and London are great cities. They're really fun. There's a bunch of nightlife, and it's very exciting to be in. However, the problem is the money. The money. It's expensive to live in London. Like, and even though it's less expensive in Brighton, it's still pretty expensive. Like a fish and chips at Brighton for me and my dad when you went was like £20, whereas they could get that for like half the price at here in Birmingham. But you know, it's the corner fish and chip shops. It's like it's what they are. You know, I'm out of practice. I haven't done this in quite a bit. I'm slurring over my words again. But that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting. It's yeah. I think after just before I started recording this, I was on stream, and I was on a stream that I was really excited for because me and a bunch of my friends, we call ourselves the Corite, and you'll probably see them pop up as guests in future episodes. But yeah, we're a friendship group. You'd have seen them in the vlog. Wow, I'm actually repeating my words quite a bit. Like, that stuff I've been doing. I should probably stop. I'll make a conscious decision to kind of stop that. It's the 6 minute mark, and I think it's good if we stop the kind of introductory rambling. That's to say that like the whole episode is rambling, but it's kind of more condensed into the future. I think that's probably what I might title this episode, because like auditions and interviews, we might talk about that for like 1 second and then move on, and then we might come back to it, or we can talk about whatever. But yesterday was another big day because I went to my friend's 18th birthday party, otherwise known in the Filipino culture as a debut. It's spelled like debut, but it's pronounced a debut for some reason or another. And what's interesting about that is that I didn't just go like to kind of enjoy the party, but I was a part of the structure. I was a part of the itinerary. I was what is called a rose. In Filipino culture, in debut, a debut is celebrating a girl's 18th birthday because it's like the growing up thing. Oh, you're becoming a woman, stuff like that. The guy doesn't really get any of that. Like, they can, and I guess the more common age is 21, but Filipino guys don't really do that much. I didn't do much for my 18th. I probably won't do much for my 21st. For my 18th, I literally, to be fair, I was going to plan to have a big party for my 18th, but then I decided to split my birthday up into a birth month, where every week, I had 4 different outings. I had, with different friend groups, I had a bowling outing, I had a buffet outing, and I had a house party, like a smaller house party with the close friends. And then obviously I got drunk in a pub/grill. It's what you do. It's what you do. But yeah, there are candles and roses at a debut. The candles are usually 18, but in this case it was 9 girls who were the closest or had the most, like, the largest impact in the, was it debutante? Is that like how it's pronounced? Like the person who, like, the birthday girl. The birthday girl's like 9 or 18 closest girl, like friends who are girls, and that what they have to do is they hold up a candle and they go up to the birthday girl. I think it might actually be called debutante, honestly. I might actually just look it up real quick. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Maybe. But yeah, the birthday girl, and then the roses, or no, the candles, I'm all over the place. I'm a mess right now. That's why the title is like, all over the place and unprofessional, because this whole thing is unprofessional. But yes, the program, how it is, there are 9 roses, or 9 candles. The candles, they have a candle and they go up to the girl and they kind of have a speech. They have an emotional speech that's pretty soppy, and they tell the audience and the people who are going like, oh, I met this girl and so and so and so, and we became really close, and this is why she's amazing, and stuff like that. And everyone kind of tears up because it's so cute and whatnot. And then the roses are the 9 or 18 guys that are, like, has had an impact in their life or that she's closest to. And what the guys do is they have to dance with the girl. Usually, and they bring a rose, and then they present the rose to her. She takes the rose, and then she dances with them. And usually, it's one slow dance song, and then the guys kind of just dance with the girl. But with the friend that I was the rose at, because I was a rose, we got to choose the song. It could be a it could be a slow song or an upbeat song, and obviously I chose upbeat because that's kind of like my whole thing. I'm I'm a late 2000s upbeat kind of guy, you know, in terms of songs and music. And then the day before, I had to learn the choreo for for this dance, for like a random video on this song on like YouTube. I'll reveal the song. It was Shut Up and Dance. I did Shut Up and Dance for my kind of song. I danced with the friend, you know. And so I learned a bunch of choreo. I spent like the whole night. I was sweating by the end of it because And then when I got to the day, I found out that there was technical issues, and apparently it's just from the start of the song. And so that was a time. There's video footage, but you're not gonna get it now. If you were to get it, it's because the vlog episode of the debut airs in a couple of months, and so you get to see the embarrassment. But that's not the end of the embarrassment. It's just because after the roses and candles was the cotillion dance, and I was in a cotillion dance. The cotillion dance is where the birthday girl and, you know, some of the roses and candles, they're partnered up, and then they have to do like a dance or like a choreograph like thing that happens like a month before. And so we were spending like a month practicing that, and you'll probably see that on the vlog as well. And when we got to actually do it on the day, more technical issues ensued with the DJ, and so they played the wrong song or the wrong rendition of the song, which adds a whole second verse and chorus which we didn't like plan for. And so it was so embarrassing. I cringe every time I look back at it. It was a day ago as well, so that's crazy. But thankfully there was a redo, and we did get the right version, and it was nice. It was sweet. I look so awkward. I am not a dancer. I will just say this now. I tried to kind of go with the flow, but it's you kind of do. But the best bit of any Filipino party, especially the debut, or even another big party, is the disco. Because the disco is when everything kind of goes like hard. It goes hard. Like they play like popular music, and everyone kind of just dances, and like they'll make a circle, and then at one point everyone will kind of just push people into the circle, and they kind of like do their own solo bit, and everyone's like, yeah, it's hype. It's really hype. And that's kind of why I want to like have that, like, that's why, like, yeah, it was really nice seeing my old school friends again. So I need to, yeah, because they're from my old secondary school, and I had this like thing like back in like last year where I kind of like was missing them a lot of the time. Thankfully I don't miss them as much as I did last year, because I actually do have like close friends now that are from my current school or college. But you know, it was just fun to kind of see them again, hang out, and just dance. And all the photos and the videos that we took, they're amazing. But that was yesterday, and you know, we immediately went off topic. I started with auditions and universities to Filipino debuts. But hey, I'm Filipino in my ethnicity, so it's pretty natural to talk about that. Another thing that's Filipino is like Jollibee. I'm gonna personally shout out Jollibee here. And Jollibee is really good. It has a really good kind of crispy fried chicken. It's great. They're from the Philippines, Jollibee, the place. So if you're from the Philippines, go get a Jollibee for dinner. Or if you're in London right now, go get a Jollibee for dinner, because I know they're in London. They're probably in some other places around the world, but I remember when they first opened in London, there was a massive queue. There was a massive queue lining up to get Jollibee from Filipinos like around like the UK. And I was in that queue one of those days, and it took like an hour for me to get my food. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not worth waiting an hour for. Because in that hour, you could have just gone to KFC. But I get it, because it's the new thing, and Filipinos want to try it out, you know. But honestly, Jollibee is really good, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite fast food restaurant. I know I'm a heretic to all Filipinos out there. But for me, it's Dixie Chicken. Dixie Chicken gets my love. Like, I usually go there, get like a loaded box meal, which has a burger, a chicken wing, sometimes a chicken leg, and sometimes a chicken wing, and then like a large amount of fries, and that hits the spot. Aside from buffets, like Dixie Chicken hits the spot. It's very obviously it's unhealthy. Every fast food place is pretty much unhealthy. But if you're not even thinking about health and you're just kind of going there just to enjoy some food for dinner, it's like some nice comfort. Like, it's a guilty pleasure. But Dixie Chickens is where it's at, man. Talking about food, and I'm hungry. Thankfully, I got wine gums with me. My sister had a sleepover like a couple of days ago, and there was like this bag of wine gums that in the room that she was sleeping in, and I think the day after she just kind of gave me the rest of them. Wine gums are pretty. They're good. They're good. Like even they're not the candy I would kind of go for. Like if you're talking about like, ooh wait. I should probably explain. Wine gums are it's a kind of gummy. Wine gums is gummy. There's no wine in wine gums. Don't worry. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling them to children. They're from Bassett's. Let me see where it is. Maynard's Bassett's is where wine gums are from, and they're kind of like hard gummies, and they're good. They are good. I wouldn't choose them for. I'm more of a kind of soft gummy kind of person, or like maybe even sherbet, or kind of a nice Haribo, or I don't even know. Is there an equivalent to Haribo in America? Or do they just have Haribos in America? All I know is that Haribos are expensive nowadays. And by expensive, I mean like they used to be £1 for a big bag, and now they're £1.25 for like a small bag. Inflation goes crazy. That's why everyone should save up. Everyone should invest in like a nice kind of like ISA or like stocks. Because I learned that like if I save £100 a month, I split it into like different kind of ways. And currently I have like 500 in savings, and that's pretty good. But I could do more. But it's the thing. I need to the work that I'm currently at. I don't have any jobs for January or February, so I kind of have to just kind of live with the money that I have. Because I put £100 a month and then just don't touch it, and then some of it goes into stocks. And I think currently I'm at like a plus £18 because the stocks have been pretty kind to me. Sometimes they drop and it's like, but you know, taxes. We learned about like kind of savings and borrowings in like there was a thing on last Wednesday, like a drop day, where we just had to learn about we did like an hour of meditation, which involved like tapping. That we took like our fist, and then we did like it's like ASMR, it's a bit like ASMR, and we did some meditation, and then like relaxing stuff. And apparently there was a spray mist at one point that we missed out, but like that could have been cool. And then we had another hour of... What was the other hour? We had an hour of first aid. And we just watched a Mr. Bean cartoon where he tried to resuscitate like a man's life who had passed out, which is interesting. Then we had an hour of learning about taxes and stuff. It's like, great. And then we had an hour of public speaking, or learning how to do public speaking. But the problem is, like, he talked for half an hour about himself and his story. And his story is really cool. It was a really interesting story, but it didn't really help with like our public speaking, you know, because it's like, we had like maybe 15 minutes at the start, like doing like a public speaking thing, and then he just kind of like, oh yeah, here's my story that like for the remainder of the session. And it was like cool, but like I wanted to kind of do some stuff on my own, you know. But hey, that's how it is. The day after was like a nice thing. We went to the youth club that Ethan and I go to, and we dragged Errol along this time as well, which was pretty fun. I might actually get some of the future guests, which are from the Core 8, to talk about the youth club, because it's a pretty good one. But I have to do that after a certain episode, though. There is a certain episode that I've planned in the works that is a bit more personal. But after that, everything kind of come loose and stuff. But yeah, we're 18 minutes and the more like gone to like 3 different topics. That's actually that might be a record, honestly. Right now, I'm currently just playing through Pokemon like kind of a stuff. Pokemon is a franchise. It's like it's a large franchise, but even with it being a large franchise, it's really hard to kind of connect with people who don't know Pokemon already. Thankfully, I have a few friends that like are into Pokemon, so I can connect with them about it. But like when I'm like, oh, I'm really passionate about Pokemon, but since most of my friends, they don't really care much about it, so it's like I can't really talk about it with them. Because I know every single Pokemon. I know like all. I can probably, if there's a website where I do like every week where I try to list off all 1,019 Pokemon I think there is, maybe 20, and I managed to do it. And I actually spent like in the first hour of my EPQ lesson, which is like if you don't know an EPQ lesson, it's a course where you do some research and then you either make an artifact or write a dissertation about it. And then in my EPQ lessons, I spend an hour just listing off Pokemon names. Which is like, because we have 3 hours of EPQ lessons a week. So I spend the last 2 hours actually doing work. And for our work, my EPQ, I chose to write a script because it's like, that's what the course is, creative writing and writing a script. And so, you know, I would write the script in the last couple of hours. But the first hour is always like my do whatever. because it starts at 9 a.m. I don't feel like working at 9 a.m. usually. So I just kind of chill for a bit, and then I start, okay, it's time to get down to business. And it works. I have now finished my course. I get my mornings back, or my Thursday mornings back, and it's so nice to sleep in. But it doesn't really matter, because I can sleep in whenever now, because it's the half-term holiday, so I can, like, sleep in at 3 a.m., and then, like, wake up at, say, maybe 8 a.m., and everything's good, you know? Because I'm currently recording this at, like, 11 p.m. Yeah, 11 p.m., so, you know. In like 10 hours, I get to kind of just chill. I get to kind of do whatever. I'm currently watching a Chinese drama that my friend, one of my friends from the Korea has kind of recommended me, and it's called Falling Into Your Smile. I'm currently on like episode 9, 10 of that. It's basically an esports kind of C drama, where like there's a guy and a girl, and it's love. It's love, romance, and esports. Hell yeah. Everyone loves that, don't they? But it's a good. If you're into kind of like cute romance moments as well as kind of like gaming intense moments, then Falling Into Your Smile, it's on Netflix. That's why I'm watching it. Or it should be available. It's available in the UK at least if you're from there. But you know, it's just like random stuff I'm into, you know. Yeah, like my favorite genre of film is rom-com. Because I'm a sucker for those cute moments, okay? And it makes me, it's like, you know, it's that moment, oh, it's cute, but like, it's also like envious. I'm envious of the couples because I'm still single, you know? But hey, maybe in university. It's the attractiveness game, okay? I don't have the attractiveness game. I don't have the attractiveness kind of like thing, you know? I could have the personality thing, but like, I'm a very awkward person in real life. Like, I don't even know how I've made like the friends that I've made. Because usually, with, like, a new person, I'm kind of, like, hi. Like, sometimes I try to kind of be, I'd say I'm an ambivert, but more so introvert than extrovert. Like, sometimes I could be really kind of engaging and stuff, like, at parties and stuff. But usually, when there's new people in the room, I kind of keep quiet, or, like, keep with the people I know, and just kind of, like, hope that an opportunity presents itself for me to talk to new people. But it's what it is. It's how the world works, and I guess B-Real happened like 12 hours ago. I remember when B-Real was a big thing, and everyone would like stop what they're doing. And this was back in like July or August in 2022, and then like the Ring would happen, and everyone's like, oh, B-Real, and then everyone would stop and take their B-Reals at the same time, and like over time, like people stopped caring, and then like some people just stopped using the app, and then some people just kind of like waited 6 hours to post a B-Real. As of right now, today B-Real happened at 11:03. Like 11 a.m. It's currently 11 p.m. and I'm going to post my B-roll after this episode. 12 hours, but it's a fun time. In terms of news, I'm currently the music video for the second single is currently being produced, and then I think later this month, end of February, you will get the second single, and then yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really fun, but you know. I haven't even started eating this wine gum yet because I keep talking. Somehow there's like a lightsaber in my room as well. I found this like lightsaber in my closet one time. It's a blue lightsaber that like you swing and it opens up, and I've just been kind of using it for my YouTube shorts a lot of the time because it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to just use unorthodox tools, and I realize I might be a bit quiet, so my microphone is somehow really quiet, or like not picking up that much, so I have to kind of mess with the audio. But so there might be peaks of kind of loudness if I try to talk a bit louder, but I hope it goes well. Maybe. If you're wondering why like I'm doing this late as well, it's because I'm recovering from last night, which was the debut. It was a crazy night. It was actually crazy. This morning I woke up and I couldn't really do much because I was aching. So I had to stretch a bit. Stretching is really good because then it prevents you from having to feel the hurt of it like longer. But it's fine. This holiday is going to be a fun one because tomorrow I'm going to see some like my friends and have like hang out with them, and then on Thursday I'm going to Ethan and Errol and one of my other friends, and we're going to be playing bowling, and then going Nando's, which is awesome. I think on a different day, one of my friends is going to take me out to a buffet, which is cool, and then another one of the days of this week I'm going out to celebrate a birthday celebration. So yeah, four different outings, which is weird because I never really saw myself as having a life before. Because I'll say this once more and I'll say this again. All my friends are somehow busy every hour of every day in the holidays. And so when I ask them, hey, do you want to hang out? They're like, no, I think I might have something to do. And it's like soul breaking, soul crushing. What was that voice? But I guess it's what it is. So you kind of just have to live with that. I live with that by playing Pokemon and just watching Netflix or Disney Plus, you know? Disney Channel has always kind of been that kind of childhood show that I never really watched until I was older. And now I'm kind of just checking out the classics, like Wizards of Waverly Place and The Sweet Life on Deck are classics. But I think one of my favorite stuff from Disney Channel is the Zombies franchise. I know it's somewhat cheesy and like, you know, Disney Channel like esque, but like it's a comfort, it's a guilty pleasure, the Zombies franchise to me. Cause you know, the two main actors like Zed and Addison, Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly, they're amazing actors. They have great chemistry together, and it's like something like I got excited when the third movie was gonna be announced late 2022, and I actually like watched it the day it came out, and it was great. I think that day was actually the day of my year 11 prom, so I literally watched the movie and then went to year 11 prom afterwards. And it was a great day. It was a great day. Like, back then, we couldn't get drunk because it was year 11. But, you know. Back then, I refused to drink. Like, people would offer me drinks, but, like, I wouldn't say yes. Until Scotland. Like, in the summer holidays in Scotland, I had my first drink ever. And so, that started, like, me, like, wanting to have drinks. Beer is disgusting. No matter what anyone says, I don't like beer. Somehow, I've acclimatized to beer. Like, I don't like... It's not like, ew... stuff. I can drink beer and I wouldn't like gag at drinking beer because my dad's a big beer drinker, and so he kind of offers me a bunch of beer, and I was like, okay, fine, but I'm a cider guy. I know it's not that strong, but like I know it's like getting drunk, like drinking is like about like kind of feeling loopy and tipsy and stuff like that. But I also like stuff to taste good, like ciders and cocktails. They taste pretty good, and sours too. But like beer and wine and like whiskey, like they're strong, but they don't really taste good, you know. I've tried whiskey, and I don't like the taste of whiskey. I'm a good flavor guy. Like, you know, give me some of that, like that Blue Lagoon or that Pina Colada, you know. Those cocktails and like the ciders there, they're my jam. Like I have them when I go to like buffets and stuff. They're hella expensive, but you know, it's worth it. It is definitely worth it. I think I've pretty much just described my whole life over the past 20 minutes. I think I've made the idea of having these episodes be kind of shorter, maybe half an hour long, and then having the guest episodes be like an hour long, maybe an hour and a half, because, you know, it's a lot easier to conversate with a guest because like you're just kind of going back and forth over each other, and because I have a connection with like the guest, I can kind of just do that. Whereas here, talking about myself, I have to think of all of the things I'm gonna say. I have to like think on the spot, come up with stuff, and try not to keep the flow going. Whereas I can kind of stop talking and take a breather when a guest episode's here. But it's a pretty cool experience having two different things, and you know. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This is just season 1, baby. Like we got many more episodes, many more discussions, many more friends, unless I lose them all by the end of this year, which hopefully I won't. But you never know. I think this actually might be our shortest episode yet, because I'm gonna end it like right now, because I don't really want to keep extending this episode to longer than it has to be, because right now I'm already struggling to think of things to say that like people would care about. You know, there are obviously things to say, but like none of them are like popping into my head right now. So I'm probably just gonna end it when it reaches the 30-minute mark. Yeah, 30 minutes is the minimum, and then maybe an hour 30 is probably the maximum. Maybe an hour 45 if I'm lucky. But yeah, the old podcast that Errol and I used to run, the episodes could go from like as short as say 15 minutes to as long as like 2 hours. Yeah, we either don't talk at all or we talk so much our head explodes. I think one episode we literally just revealed our mock exam like results, like which grades we got, and that took up like half an hour of the episode. But you know what it is. When you're on the grind, you're on the grind. And I have like 40 seconds. This is like the bit. This whole thing gives me the vibe of like, oh, we're YouTubers back in 2018. We have to get past the 10-minute mark. So let's do something. Let's blah 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 blah. Either do like a sponsorship or an ad read or like a promotion of like their merch, or they do that thing where they tell you to subscribe if you haven't already, because 55% of viewers that watch my videos are not subscribed. So you guys are dumb, and stuff like that. But I think we're just gonna get to the end of it. That has been this episode. Next episode there will be a guest, and for once I actually don't know what that guest is. I have an ideas for what the guest could be, but once again, you just have to find out next week. Hopefully I don't become sick next week. Hopefully I don't become sick next week and you miss the episode. But with that all said and done, my name is LeorgeRG, and I will see you guys Sunday. It's Sunday. It's gonna come up on Sunday. What's wrong with me? Yeah. You guys will get the next episode next Sunday. See you guys.